There's 10 news stories that came out this week. I can just rattle off 4 from the top of my head, but I'm really going to focus on one. There was the volcano that erupted under seas in the ocean, and it spawned mutant sharks. Now, I know that sounds a little crazy, and they literally called it a Sharkcano. They're saying that these sharks are mutant because they were able to survive in the temperatures and the mineral makeup of said volcano. But it erupts and it shit out all these sharks. So now those sharks are in the ocean. Sharkcano, Sharknado, stay with me. The Vatican has decided to open up 5 doors, some that have never been opened in 400 years, some that have never been opened ever. And some of them are being called portals. And they're going to live stream it. They're opening one that is some crazy ass tomb that has some kind of backwards ass name that has to do with Satan. And they're going to live stream it on Christmas Eve. Put the story here. But you know, Selena Gomez got engaged. And congratulations to her and Benny. But I think there's some bigger fish to fry over here. But, you know, maybe the relationship is so powerful that it trends, or maybe it is used to distract. Also, the Chiefs won again with a funny field goal. Again, amazing. I love the Chiefs. Are they there, or are they to distract? Because the next one is the biggest one. And it could change, in my opinion, will change how we exist. And that is the so-called drone activity. The drone activity that is happening for the last 3 weeks, which is coming up on the anniversary of the Miami Mall, which when I brought up to our good friend Leah Black, she said, "Oh, what? Get out." So I don't talk about it on other shows. I talk about it here. Anyone who knows me, there's only a few people that know me, know that my father was a very, very big alien enthusiast ever since I can remember, since I was single digits. My father was obsessed with aliens. Now, he didn't go to conferences, he didn't join MUFON, but he would smoke a Viceroy, sit on the bench, look up into the sky, and wait. That was my father. You couldn't get a lick of information out of him about his life, about his backstory, well, here and there. But he had sworn up and down that when he was 12 years old, he saw an alien ship in the Smoky Mountains. And then, when he was dating my mother, and he was on leave, either dating her or in Atlantic City, I think he was 27, in Atlantic City, he saw one again, which is crazy because that's where the hotbed is right now. And then when I was doing Scream 2, he came to visit with my mother. And there was a weird ass helicopter above the hotel where I had them stay. And it hovered. And he had told me that they knew that he knew that they knew that he was there. Now, you can say whatever you want. And me and my mom looked and laughed, but he kind of committed. He didn't really break back out of it. Now, there's a lot of things that happen to me in my life that are very crazy, and you wonder why they would happen to me. And there's a lot of things I've done. Don't you think it's odd, the things that I have done in my life? Don't you think it's odd that I was Randy in Scream, which made a cultural impact, and then also I'm B-Rad? And when both of these movies came out, they were just these little movies, and now they have their own cultural impact in their own way. And now Son of the Mask is coming its own cultural impact. Why would somebody empower me with that so I could stay within the zeitgeist, even if I'm not currently doing things that are considered hot? It's not the things that are happening are not as hot as the things that did happen that are being discovered by new audiences that remain hot because they're good. And my last name is Kennedy, amongst many other things in my life that I've done. Why do those happen to me? Why am I compelled to speak on the truth? I don't know. Why did I make a movie called Heckler when now heckling and social media opinions are everywhere? Am I tuned in? Am I ahead of the curve? Am I connected? Are people downloading these ideas to my brain and telling me to put them out? I don't know. It could be the latter. It could be the latter. What I'm telling you is my father lived a life of a prophet, never gets praise in his own home. And it's true. And he taught me that. And it's true for me as well. Unfortunately. We have to go out in the world. And it's hard when you're in the world and people love what you do. But within your own home, they just let you. But a lot of you guys know who Alex Jones is. And a lot of you guys, there's a lot of people talking now. But before Alex Jones, there was David Icke. And I had heard his name since the 80s when I was in high school because my father would read books about David Icke. And it was the first time I ever heard the term reptilian. It was a book by David Icke. And if you don't know who David Icke is, look him up. David Icke is the original, completely radical thinker that everyone ostracized and kicked out of society. And in fact, countries won't let him in to speak. And he's literally been banished to like the Isle of Man. And I think he makes a lot of money and lives well, but he was considered a loon. He was a normal guy that was on television. He was a presenter. But if you look at what he talks about, it's all coming more and more real. And I think he had a divine intervention of some sort. But really, he gave birth to the modern seek out movement, truth movement. And it's all happening. It's all being revealed. It's up to you to decide what you want to believe. And so I've had this in my life. And since I didn't agree with school and organized religion and different things, and because as a young boy, I was a sickly child. And I wasn't given the same tools as other people were. And I was like, that's not fair. So then I just started questioning everything. That's the birth of my comedy career. But then I was like, oh, this is all dumb. This is all dumb. Because I was hooked in. I was hooked into, I know you don't like to hear it, the Matrix, or I was hooked into the system in which we exist, where I was, you know, Friday night going to the arcade. I was playing Donkey Kong, drinking Pepsis, eating my slices of pizza, riding my BMX bike. I was a happy little 12-year-old. Very happy. Playing Atari when I went home, watching Gremlins, going to the movie theater. Like, it was an action-packed weekend for me. And, then I had my heart issue, and then I just was like, what the man, this isn't what I was getting. I watched Chips, I watched John Ritter, I watched all these wonderful pop culture things. And my Farrah Fawcett poster, I had my Suzanne Summers poster. And then I was hit with this dark reality that I have a health condition that wasn't going to kill me, but it was just different. So I couldn't, play football. I didn't have the energy. So then I chose another route. I chose me, really. And so why am I babbling? Because all of these people that are now getting recognition, I've heard about them for years, It kind of really goes David Icke, Alex Jones, and Alex Jones gave birth to like Sam Tripoli is very high up on the truth, the truth movement. Eddie Bravo, very guys that are completely seeking and question the fabric of reality and are very knowledgeable. And then there's a lot of other people, Jay Dyer and such.